So obviously, the start of last game, first 20 minutes or so, didn't go to plan. 3 yellow cards, the early substitution, and obviously the goal. I was just wondering, from a coach's perspective, if you can kind of go through maybe what went wrong and how you led your team to sort of recover from that period.
Yeah, so the game last week we knew was going to be difficult in Phoenix. They have a fast team, very athletic. They attack quickly. You know, playing in about 95-degree weather, we knew it was going to be difficult. So we planned on allowing them play down the sidelines and not giving them anything down the middle. Something that I think we accomplished pretty well. You know, I was disappointed with the way we started the game. I thought the first 10 minutes were really weak for us, and we had to make a change immediately. I think the change worked out well. I think we got back into the game. And I think, you know, around the 70th minute, you know, we felt like in the 1-1 game, we felt like we could go for the win. So we chose Danny Barrera to come in the game. You know, obviously, if we were looking just for a tie, I could have selected, you know, a center back or a defender to try to tie the game. But we felt like we had them pretty well contained and we could win. So we put Danny Barrera in. But then only a couple minutes later, we made a mistake in the back, which wasn't part of the game flow. And unfortunately, that was a goal. And at 2-1, I think our guys put their arms down a little bit, and it was hard for us to get back in the game after that.
Yeah, do you feel like the loss came more of a result of maybe the guys not being able to last for the 90 minutes like you were maybe expressed concern with, or was it more just the mistake was kind of a killer for the momentum?
Yeah, I think it was the momentum because it took us a while to hang in there with them. I think we had Phoenix at a moment where they were frustrated, and that's why we felt putting Danny in the game. Danny would be able to make that pass that I think Andre wasn't able to do. And so we really felt like we could win the game in the last 20 minutes. You know, unfortunately, these kind of mistakes, you know, likely for players happen maybe once in a lifetime. And unfortunately, it happened to Matt this game. And, you know, we just have to give him more encouragement. And you know, obviously, we have to move on from that. You know, we made a mistake. And then we always have to say that whatever mistake any player makes, it's a team mistake. And we have to move on. That's all.
Yeah, and what do you take from that game going into this stretch of home games, starting with Loudoun this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a tough stretch for us. You know, we've been out west 4 times already, and most of our games have been on the road. You know, Phoenix obviously is also a difficult one. So we're glad that I think we have the difficult part of our schedule, at least as far as road games are concerned. We have them all out of the way, and that's a good thing. Now we get to hopefully recover some of our injured players. You know, Andre is now starting to get to full speed. Elvis is potentially, if he does well the next 2 days, we can potentially select him to be on the roster for the weekend. And hopefully Kemba will be part of that in the picture in the next 3 or 4 weeks. So as we get more home games and we get our team healthy, I think we'd have a better possibility.
Yeah, and what does the home stretch sort of do for the team's motivation, especially coming out of the tough stretch, as you said?
Yeah, well, I mean, at the end of the day, we also have to do well at home. You know, we've lost 2 games at home already that we weren't expecting to lose. I think, again, you know, as we get our roster a little bit stronger, I think we'll be able to compete a little bit better at home. But it's certainly something that, you know, where now we don't have to deal with all the travel, and that's going to help the players' legs.
Well, this team has never lost to Loudoun at home. Are the guys aware of that?
I don't think we're aware of any sort of stat like that. I don't know that we had one in Oakland before either. So, I mean, you have to take games one at a time. You have to see what roster you have available, what they're doing this year. I think they're a pretty strong team. They're a good team, but I think we're also a good team. So we're not worried about the history in the past. We're looking into the future, and hopefully we start with a win.
What's your assessment of how this team has performed the first couple months of the season?
Well, I think so far the results have not been good enough. I mean, we've been right there. We've lost a lot of points in the last 10 minutes of games, and that's something that we've been looking at. But to be fair, our roster's been a little short with all the injuries that we've had, so we're actively looking to potentially bring other guys as well to make our roster a little bit stronger because we've struggled with that. We haven't been able to make as many, so I think we're the team with the least amount of substitutions in games, and I think it's because we have to count a lot on the 11 guys that we have on the field.
How do you beat Loudoun?
Well, you know, Loudoun is a good team. They played tonight, so hopefully that'll help us to be a little bit better recover than them for Saturday. You know, they play basically out of a 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1. We're going to have to connect passes in the middle, and hopefully our guys up top will be able to create more opportunities.
What are you going to take from the start of Phoenix to be able to kind of come out a little bit stronger here on Saturday?
Yeah, you know, I mean, the start in Phoenix was not something that was unexpected for us in terms of, you know, what Phoenix does. You know, as a coach, you always tell players to be prepared for the start of the game. But in particular with the Phoenix team, it was the first time that we told the team before we walked on the field that Phoenix is one of those teams that gets all over you in the first 5-10 minutes. They did it against Loudoun the week before. And so we were more than prepared for them to start quickly, yet the response wasn't great. So hopefully this week the players will understand that we have to start from the first minute.